Good morning, students. So today we will talk about Norma basalis. So first of all, what is Norma basalis? Norma basalis, the inferior aspect of the cranium, is Norma basalis. It shows how the skull appears from underneath. We will discuss about the boundaries of the Norma basalis. So first of all, when we will see a skull from underneath, the interior boundary is formed by incisor teeth, and behind its superior noctular line that forms the posterior boundary. And when we study Norma basalis from the lateral side, like the lateral boundary of the Norma basalis, first of all we see alveolar arch. So what is alveolar arch? Alveolar arch bears socket for the roots of the upper teeth. After alveolar arch, we see the lower border of the zygomatic bone. Then after that, it's mastoid process, and after mastoid process, behind all we know that it's superior noctular lines that form the posterior boundary of the Norma basalis. For the convenience of study, the Norma basalis is divided into anterior, middle, and posterior part by two imaginary lines. Now the first part is anterior part. So anterior part is further divided into two parts, that is alveolar arch and hard palate. So now what is alveolar arch? Alveolar arch bears sockets for the roots of the upper teeth. The anterior part of the Norma basalis, that is the hard palate. The hard palate is made up of two parts. First of all, the anterior two-thirds of the hard palate is made by the palatine process of the maxilla bone, that we can see from the diagram that the interior two-thirds of the hard palate is made by palatine process of maxilla bone, and the posterior one-third of the hard palate is made by horizontal plates of the palatine bone. Suture can be seen in the hard palate or on the hard palate. The name of the suture is cruciform suture, and this cruciform suture is made by three sutures. First of all, that is intermaxillary suture, interpalatine suture, and the palatomaxillary suture. All of these three sutures combine together to form cruciform suture. The Norma basalis is arched in all directions and show pits for palatine glands. So the next feature of the hard palate, that is the incisive fossa. So what is the location of the incisive fossa? So first of all, what is incisive fossa? Incisive fossa is a deep fossa, and where is it situated? It is situated on the anterior side of the hard palate in the median plane. And in this feature we can also study two more canals, that is two incisive canals. These are left and right, that pairs the walls of the incisive fossa, that usually one on the each side, but occasionally in the median plane, and the left being interior and the right being posterior. And we can see both of these features of the hard palate in the given diagram. Next feature of the hard palate is the greater palatine foramen. And when we think about greater palatine foramen, so what's greater palatine foramen? First of all, we should know about palatomaxillary suture. So what is the position of the palatomaxillary suture? As in the given diagram, you can see that one suture is marked as palatomaxillary suture on the right side of the diagram, and we can relate the position of the greater palatine foramen because greater palatine foramen is always situated behind the lateral part of the palatomaxillary suture, and we can say it is one on each side. So the next feature of the hard palate is the lesser palatine foramen. As we studied before about the incisive fossa, greater palatine foramen, so next feature is the lesser palatine foramen. As I told you before, to know the position of the greater palatine foramen, we should know the position of the palatomaxillary suture. So in the same way, to know the position of the lesser palatine foramen, we can relate the position of the lesser palatine foramen with the greater palatine foramen. So as we know the elder brother, so we can know the younger brother as well. Same kind of thing, just to joking. And then so what's the position of the lesser palatine foramen? So lesser palatine foramen is always situated behind the greater palatine foramen, and it could be 2 or 3 in number on each side. So in the given diagram we can see the position of the greater palatine foramen, and behind it it's lesser palatine foramen, that could be 2 or 3 on each side. And next thing that we should know about lesser palatine foramen is that it perforate the pyramidal process of the palatine bone. Now what's the pyramidal process of the palatine bone? We can see the positioning of the pyramidal process of the palatine bone. So it's just 3 things that we need to know about lesser palatine foramen, that is situated behind the greater palatine foramen, and it's 2 or 3 on each side, and it's perforate the pyramidal process of the palatine bone. Border. The posterior border of the hard palate, first of all, it is free. Wow. And it presents the posterior nasal spine. We can see posterior nasal spine from the given diagram, and it's in the median plane. So next feature is the palatine crest. Palatine crest is just a curved ridge near the posterior border that we can see in this given diagram, and it usually begins behind the greater palatine foramen, and it runs medially. So as we just learned from after learning all of these features of the hard palate, that all of these features and their locations are correlated. So it's just a tip for to learn the hard palate or other structures of the Norma basalis. So thank you so much for watching my video. Please like, share and subscribe. Thank you so much. Have a good day.